Thanks for coming to our 7th annual Behind the Glass. This is awesome. Together, these two guys have shaped the sound of modern rock. I think it's undeniable. And the volume of work that they've put out over the years and the intersections between the artists that they've worked with are a statement and a testament to their dedication to the craft, their longevity, and their adherence to really strong principles about how to make records. And we're going to dig into a lot of that stuff tonight.
When I'm in the studio with an artist, it's really about the energy of the performance of the song that they're about to do, or the parts.
I try to find out what direction they want to go in, and then I just sort of follow their lead. I don't try to manipulate their mood.
I want to let bands do what they do in rehearsal rooms to get that energy. And part of that is just letting them be themselves.
I just try to find out what is going to motivate them at any particular moment, I guess.
Yeah, that record, I had to have a wooden stool by him when he sang, because those vocals on that record were so high and hard to do. He'd get frustrated and he would break. He had to break something, and I would leave wooden stools there so he could smash something almost every day, because it's so hard to hit some of those notes.
You can just feel it. Me and Dave and Taylor just going for it and being excited, and no click track and a reel of tape on the machine. And I think they played it maybe 3 times, and I cut the first half of the first take and the back half of the third take, and that was it. I mean, we recorded that entire song in a night, the entire thing. And Dave, sitting on a couch just like this with a U-47 sitting in front of him.
Far Beyond had to go far beyond, the heaviness and the intensity. And, it's always hard to do that, of course, but those guys always wrote their records with their fans in mind, and they always wrote it by what they thought the crowd was going to do when they heard it. That was always the number one thing in their mind is, well, how does this riff going to sound out? How's the audience going to react to this one?
It's important to me to see the band live before I decide to work with them, because I base everything I do on how they perform live.
I have to see them on stage. I have to see how they interact. I have to see how they can play and how good they are. And I like to see that dynamic of how they're on stage together, moving around, and what guys are rocking together and really locked in.
I want to make a record that is a representation of their live performance more than a representation of their studio performance.
It's a big part of how I plan on making the album, as far as time, how long it's going to take, and it's just good to get an idea of what the band is all about, and the best way to do that is to see them live.
The first record we did, I was coming off of the Pantera years, which was, production style for me with them was a lot of treble, a lot of irritating frequencies, not a lot of warm bass frequencies. And they came in, and their influences were, half of them was the metal stuff, the other half was Sir Mix-a-Lot. All the vocals on that record were all done in front of a floor monitor with a 58. And to get performance. It was all about performance. That was the main ingredient for all that. Just make a live performance really good on tape. And we ended up doing, 4 records together, and then Nick took over somewhere after that.
At this point in my career, to do really any project, it's got to be about great songs. The songs have to be captivating and interesting to make me want to spend 12 to 15 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week listening to them over and over and over and over again.
I get my inspiration from the music, from the people who are making the music, because I've been doing it a long time, so it's hard for me to come up with new ideas on my own. So I have to find new ideas from the artists themselves, and so I'm always looking for projects that sound different to me, something I haven't heard before, and the enthusiasm that they present it with is really what inspires me to get me going.